Scott's on Zoom too.
Come on.
I think the only one we're missing is that, as you said, he's not showing us is Huntley.
I'm sorry?
It's Huntley, right?
Yes.
Because we have John, we have Scott, John, and Dick.
Well, I was in Boston today, just got back about 4 o'clock. There's not much snow down there
No.
anymore, it's all
No,
gone.
anything south of us?
Yeah, yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that they got some pretty big stuff, but, you know, you can see grass in a lot of places.
Yeah. I didn't hear from Kathleen. She attended the last one via Zoom. Check to see if anybody's.
You ever heard from Dick?
Dick's on,
He's on.
Scott's on, and John's on.
Oh, okay, great.
Now I'll turn this around in a few minutes, but I just have to keep an eye on it. If somebody tries to get in, they
Right,
have to admit them.
no problem.
So we're missing Kathleen then? Get started?
They took down our clock.
Hey,
Oh, perfect, I can't see it.
you have to keep on doing one of these.
Oh, wasn't it up there?
Yeah, there's always up there.
It's easier to see up there.
I know.
Yeah, need a lot. All right, okay, let's figure out what we're doing tonight. Hopefully the agenda will be a short meeting, but it depends, all depending on how much you guys want to talk. Oh, exactly. Okay, so, voting members. I believe it's going to be David, Chris, Sarah, Scott, Scott.
Yes, he's the phone number.
Oh, I couldn't recognize the phone, Scott.
It didn't look like you.
And John, you're here. Thank you for being here. And Kathleen's not here.
I'm here, thank you.
Great. It's good we can hear you this time. That's great. And Kathleen, I didn't hear from her. And I heard from Huntley. Huntley's not going to be with us. So let's see. With one absent, I need to have one of the alternates, and according to the way we're written up, the most senior alternate. Jim, you're the most senior alternate.
Get out of town,
Huh?
get out of town, really?
Yeah.
So you're a voting member this evening.
Okay,
All right.
Okay.
First order of business, please, Mr. Secretary.
You've already done the current voting members. Now it is to approve the minutes from the January 13th. Those are the second version. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, the first version was in the rush.
That's on the agenda on the non-public comment section that I'm going up.
I move that we accept.
A motion to accept minutes and a second from Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Okay, next one is public comments on any matter before the planning board this evening that is not on the agenda.
Hank? All right, we can give you the opportunity, you know? And is there anyone who's,
There's no public.
no public on the Zoom? Okay, great. That was a quick agenda item.
But I don't know if this is when I can bring them up about the minutes that we are looking to potentially, if anybody knows anybody. that would be willing to be our minute writer instead of me. We are open for any suggestions, any ideas that you can have somebody, let me know.
All right, we'll include that in the minutes and hopefully we'll get some kind of response and.
Is that a paid position?
We pay, yeah.
There is someone who does the selectmen's minutes.
I already asked them. And, well,
They've heard about us.
even though I try to talk and say we only do once a month, not twice a month. So,
And we're an easier crew.
that's right.
Hey. Well, maybe not. Okay. Alrighty.
So that's the Black Mountain Road culvert.
Yeah, we received, I passed that around to everyone, for comment. And, it was also sent to the Conservation Commission and also to the Board of Selectmen. And so it's made the rounds. But it got sent to me and I figured it made sense to have us look into it to see if there's anything, especially with the fact that we've just been looking at the water district and quality of water. And one of the things that the Alliance has been talking about for water resource land is that culvert improvements are one of the key development things that we need to do to improve our water quality. So I think this is something we should support. We also got a response from Huntley.
Yeah, it's very positive.
And he is property right abutting the actual downflow of the culvert. And apparently he and his neighbor across the street have both been wanting this to happen because it's been a safety hazard. I'm not familiar with driving up and down Black Mountain Road,
No,
but
there's a lot of debris across the road after a heavy rainfall.
yeah.
Or, more flooded in.
So it's a good thing, and what I would like to do is just send back a formal response from the planning board. John Allen, you guys talked about, it was on your agenda for the select board the other day, and is the select board going to respond to that at all? We can't hear you.
I actually haven't seen anything on that yet, to my recollection, but.
Okay, I did send a copy to you as well. All right, well, with the planning board, we'll take, we'll send a response.
If the groundwater protection ordinance passes, this would be within the groundwater protection area. So we would just mention that and say that we expect, since it is a state project, that they would conform to best management practices for controlling runoff and stormwater and so on. During the construction phase, that they would use best management practices.
I'll tell you what, I'll put something together and let you look at it.
Okay. No, I mean, that's all we could say,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Because, the state is what dictates a lot of these, I don't know if they're regulations, but best management practices. And
Yeah.
Which
is what
they should go by their own,
Yeah.
their own procedures.
Put something together and I'll have you please take
Sure.
a second look at it, make sure I included all the right things. And I don't know if we need to vote for that. All right.
Next one is our favorite topic, capital improvement plan.
Okay.
I saw that and said, yeah, we've done capital improvement plans before. The planning board doing it for sort of all the legwork for the selectmen on it, and I went back through my digital archives, and yeah, there's a whole bunch that was done for the capital improvements plan of 2004, and then it was updated in 2008 and 9, and then nothing since then, because I think the selectmen decided, okay, well, now that you've built a framework for us, we'll just keep updating it ourselves. So we haven't done anything on capital improvements plan since 2009.
Dick, we looked at this back in 2018, I believe, and you and Kathleen were working on something. But it seemed that no one was interested in providing us with any good data at the time, as I recall, or there were competing elements. Can you comment about that?
I'd comment on that, because I tried to get people to come up with ideas. I don't know what happened, because now we're looking at a $5 million fire department, an addition on the school, and I don't think any of that was ever discussed or brought forward when we first canvassed. I remember it's a few years ago, but nobody had any new input at that time. So I guess it's almost like we should think about what are the things that are going to come up and bite us as far as long-term money expenditure.
Yeah, John, you want to talk about the select board? I guess you guys authorized or are going to put forward a warrant article for a capital improvement plan?
Yeah, we put some money towards looking into the future plan, long-term type thing. It was, we did a master plan several years ago. I'm sure that needs to be updated by now, but things like that, I think is something we need to look into, and I think that's where some of that money was requested for, was to, make a long-term plan to, what kind of infrastructure we're going to need in the future.
Now, you guys put some funding in that. The question I have is regarding the New Hampshire requirements regarding the capital improvement plan. I haven't seen the warrant article or the language around it. Is it your intention for the planning board to take responsibility for that, or are you going to have a separate committee? And is your warrant article establishing there's going to be a separate committee?
I don't think it was designated one way or the other. I think it was just an exploratory type thing to look into it. I don't think it was designated for any particular committee or group of people to look into it. I think that's something that needs to be determined later.
Okay, there are RSAs on this, and apparently, unless the warrant article specifically says that it's going to be a committee, it defaults to the planning board. And that is what the state regulation is. So if you haven't done that, and that's how your warrant article is structured, it looks like you guys are basically asking us the planning board, to create a capital improvement plan in this coming year.
Well, Julie was just working out the wording today. I haven't seen the finalized elements of that yet. I mean, that was actually, we talked on the phone today, and she was trying to get all that stuff together. I don't know the actual, I haven't seen any of the documents, the final documents yet, so I can't speak to the actual final accuracy of that statement.
Okay, so it's a good thing we're bringing it up, because if it's something that you guys really want to set up, if you want to set that up as a separate committee, it's going to need to be specified in the warrant article according to the RSA. There's a very good write-up on it from the New Hampshire Municipal Association available online.
The RSA says the planning board can do it, or that legislative body may authorize the governing body Another group. Which shall include at least one member of the planning board and may include but not limited to other members of the planning board, budget committee, or the town or city governing body to prepare and amend and recommend plan of municipal capital improvement projects projected over a period of at least 6 years. Major projects being undertaken or future projects to be undertaken with federal, state, county, or other public funds. And its purpose is to aid the selectmen and the budget committee in their consideration of the annual budget. So, since we have our new books here, it's 674:5 and the following.
Right, it's RSA 674.5 and also 674.2. And we do have, we do have a master plan in place, so we can have one. But the other setup, and that is, and that's why I'm talking about it, is that unless the warrant article specifically is written, it defaults to the planning board. So that needs to be handled whichever way you want it. We're happy to take up the responsibility if that's what is intended, but I don't want to get into a position where we're doing something and you wanted to do it a different way. And we'll leave it at that, I guess.
If I may say, given the difficulties of getting some of the information, there may be a committee composed of the people that we would be getting that information from anyhow. Might be the more direct and effective way to get it done.
Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion.
That's why we're bringing it up.
Get department heads together and lay out what your projects are, how much they're gonna cost, and then fight it out as to what the priority is.
What did you say the last one was written?
We,
Officially?
officially, I think it was 2009,
And
but
take that and just work off of that.
that's what, for 2009 is what we did off the 2004. A lot of work was put into the first one.
Yeah.
And that all the different departments were interviewed and whole lists made out with costs, and we built out a whole matrix as to how much for each one, when it was, like we're going to be doing this in 4 years and the cost is X, and so we'll get a capital reserve fund going and fund it each of the 4 years so you get the money you need, and did that for all the departments. And
Yeah, but to Dick's point, we tried looking at it in 2018 and building off of that again, and we got very little input from that. And here we are sitting, in, pretty much 4 years later, and we're talking about plans that could cost as much as $10 million on impact, and it's like it's hard to believe that some of those things weren't in people's minds. Obviously, right after you finished the conversation, Dick, we started having a program to take a look at the whether or not the fire department needed a new building. But they didn't tell you that they needed a new building. And the school folks said, "No, we aren't talking to you." And they didn't, and now all of a sudden they're gonna spend $250,000 just to talk about it. So those are big impacts. We're looking at big budget dollar items, just dealing, I think, with working off of the basic program that is working is not sufficient. It's really taking a look and making sure we're looking at what are the town's needs more broadly. And, you know, if we have big ticket items that need to be looked at, we should be looking at them. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that. And I think next item on the agenda, please.
Good job.
So, in summary, we are looking for guidance from the selectmen as to what direction they want to go.
Yes. Please.
Okay, the next one is just a reminder that Bill, Kathleen, and myself need to put a letter of interest for us to continue on the planning board. That's due to the town, to the selectmen, if you're still interested.
Yeah, we have to toss in letters of interest, so just a reminder.
Who has to do that?
Bill, Kathleen, and myself, okay, because our time is up.
You're good.
I'm good.
That's the last thing on the agenda. There are no short-term rental applications to read today.
Any other conversation? Dick?
No.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Thank you.
Do I hear a motion then?
I move we adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I hear a second from Scott. All in favor? Aye.
Bye.
Thank you, folks.
Probably the shortest meeting.
Oh, my God.
Way to go.
Best meeting I've been to in a while. I like that.
Oh, my God.
All right. So we did our job.
Till next time.
Well,